Hey, it's Mark Lenny with your video thought for the day. Well, this week I'm really excited because of all places out of the What on Earth catalog, my friend Ann Parker gave me a pull-out sheet because there's an advertisement for some in Happy Moments God sign. It's got 5 different things about God, which makes for 5 video thoughts for the day. And I was asked by Ann's husband whether or not I would consider doing them this week. And I'm pretty excited about it because the first one says, in happy moments, praise God. Now, I'm really happy right now. I'd love to tell you it's this cataclysmic, brilliant thing going on in life, but frankly, I'm happy just to be home. Now, we've had a delightful vacation recently, and we were with all 5 of our kids, their 4 spouses, my mom, all 9 of our grandkids. We got to see the world, and it was so much fun. But between that and work, I've basically been away from home for so long that just coming home has got me happy. And I just love it. Now, a lot of people might think that happy is too pedestrian, too common a word for something as pious and holy and religious speak as the Bible. But no, happy is a very biblical word. And so when I read this sign, and the very first thing it says is in happy moments, praise God, that's a very thoroughly biblical thing to do. If you go back to the oldest book in the Bible, Genesis, that one that starts in the beginning, there is a time where Jacob marries Leah, and Leah gives birth to a son. And Leah says, because I'm happy, I'm going to name my son Asher. Well, Asher is basically the Hebrew word for happy, or one of the Hebrew words for happy. It's the most commonly translated word for happy. And so she says, Ashri, because I am happy, I'm going to name my son Asher, which is happy. Sounds like happy. That's not the only place. You know, as you're reading through the Bible, it's interesting. Some people may think, well, yeah, she's happy. She's having a baby boy. But it's not just that. God cares about our happiness. See, when you get to the book of Deuteronomy, among all of the different laws and rules and regulations that Moses is handing out, there's one where he talks about military conscription or being drafted into the military. You know, Israel's going to go into the promised land and they're going to have to take some of it by force. And so different people of different age have to serve in the military. But Moses said, if you're a newly married man, you have 1 year where you don't serve in the military because that's a year for you to be happy in your marriage rather than being, going off and being away. That's God caring about the happiness of not just a fella, but of the fella and his wife, and seeing that their marriage and their relationship has a good foundation of happiness. By the way, that Hebrew word asher is most typically translated into Greek with makarois, which is a New Testament word that's found especially repeatedly in the Beatitudes. It's translated there blessed instead of happy, but it conveys this idea of happiness. So, happy is the person who hungers and thirsts for righteousness. Happy is the peacemaker who will be called a son or daughter of God. Happiness is part of a holy life, Jesus taught. And finally, I think this last little phrase is really good. In happy moments, praise God, because James 1:17 says that every good and perfect gift comes from God above. So God is the reason we can have happiness. Now, there's joy, and joy is a different nuance than happiness. But happiness, there are times of great happiness in this life. And when we have those times of happiness, we need to enjoy them. Don't feel guilty about them. Enjoy them in the Lord. But in happy moments, be sure you do praise God for that happiness. Now, there's 4 other things that we'll cover this week, but I got to go. And this has been your video thought for today. See you tomorrow.